Blessings on your evening, my love. And we celebrate our divine Capricorn solar season, Cancerian lunar energy guiding us on this day. The power of the Cancer full moon lunar eclipse has been flowing through us all day. And if you're awake, and if you're awakening, and if you're open, and you're willing to come closer to your own body, your own mind, your own emotions, and your own spirit, your awakening has already begun. We follow the solar and lunar and planetary procession through the zodiac to remember our starseed origins from a world beyond. You are remembering, you are remembering, you are awakening. And what are you awakening from? And what are you awakening into? There are two worlds occurring side by side at this time, and it is very dark and very bleak and very painful to see the pain and the devastation and the destruction of man-made, horrifying events. There is a brain pathway that has been consuming the human consciousness for eons. The hive mind has been controlled and manipulated and programmed for thousands and thousands of years. And in Cancer and Capricorn, we awaken through the power of the divine feminine that lives within all beings. The feminine aspect of God that has been eradicated from our consciousness for so long that you thought it was just an old man in the sky. And with all of these incredible planets in Capricorn at this time, and the sun awakening the power of the feminine energy within us, do you realize that Capricorn is a feminine energy? So often we think that the Capricorn energy is a masculine creator, propulsor, giver, but in truth, the Capricorn and Cancer polarity allows for us to see the masculine of the feminine and the feminine of the masculine, and realizing that we are all one, one with all, one with the infinite goodness of all. There is no separation between the masculine and feminine principle other than the deviations that we create with the mind. They belong to each other. They cannot exist without each other. You came out of the body of a human with a uterus. And the power of the womb and the power of the yoni channel and the power of the incredible uterus that brings souls to earth through this body, this vulva. You've forgotten where you came from. And this shift in human consciousness that is always on, but especially on these incredible, energetic, light code days where solar and lunar energy light codes are pouring forth. You cannot see them with your human eyeballs, but you can absorb that light. Just like when the sun is behind a bunch of clouds and you still get a sunburn, that light is always pouring forth. And the power of your human consciousness and the spirit that lives within this human body that is sleeping, that is awakening slowly, that is trying to get you to wake the fuck up by paying attention, is trying to get your attention through crisis and breakdowns and plot twists, and all of a sudden these people that you thought were your people are starting to become not your people. You're seeing through their lies. You're seeing through your own lies. And what is the idea of being your own mother, father, lover, teacher mean to you? The Cancer that is obsessively consuming this planet has to evolve. How ironic that they call this disease the same sign's name that governs the mother archetype and the inner child within the human being. So when we completely abandon ourselves and we betray ourselves and we check out from our body, then our body just goes haphazard and our body tries to survive. And are you realizing that you are part of something so much bigger than you believe yourself to be? This body that digests food for you, that beats your heart, that breathes these lungs, that processes a brain on autopilot, basing everything off of memory and stories and fucking lies that you've been told for so long. Will you reclaim your being? Will you reclaim your heart? Will you reclaim your soul? You have to look closer at your self-evasion as a spiritual practice every day. The power of Capricorn and Cancer gives you the strength and the courage and the stamina to open wider to all of the ways that you've abandoned yourself, and how you've given your power away in your relationships, and how you overextend yourself all the time to the point of exhaustion, and how your body hurts and you ignore it, and how you long for change but refuse to do anything new. These are the shadow aspects of our human experience, the things that are hidden from us in plain sight. You're the only one who knows what needs to change. You're the only one who knows what you've been lying to yourself about. You're the only one who knows how much you project outward and blame other people for the ways that you abandon yourself. Just because we were taught codependent behaviors by our parents and our culture does not mean that we have to participate in this any longer. Unwinding from codependency feels like death. It feels like your body is melting away from itself. It feels like disintegration, dissolution, but this is part of the initiation through your willing and conscious self-nurturing. And when you call on the light, be prepared for the light and be prepared to see the things that you've been hiding from yourself. But don't believe the lies that your mind tells you. Seed conscious, willing self-compassion into every moment. And we have our spiritual practices to come closer to ourselves in times of overwhelm. And I feel like I'm out of control emotionally, mentally, physically. Can I give myself my own love? And who taught me how to forget myself? Who taught me how to tend to everybody else's garden except for my own? And are you interfering in other people's karmic journeys without ever being asked for help? Do you listen to yourself asking yourself for help? Do you listen to the fact that you are deeply purposeful, and even if the people who brought you here could never show you any of your own purpose or ever give you any sort of reflection of your own light, you can give that to yourself now. Give yourself the next year of your life to learn to nourish yourself and nurture yourself and combat and confront your self-hatred, self-loathing, self-evasion with self-nourishment, self-nurturing, self-honoring. Stop jumping from relationship to relationship, swiping. You came here to learn to love yourself first. You came here to learn to love, and not just yourself, but learn to love, how to honor the earth and nature and your connection to your being and your body, and how you nourish yourself and the kind of food that you eat and the way that you have a relationship with your body. Do you respond to your pain perception? Do you respond to your desire to grow? Are you willing to be able to disappoint the people around you when you start to grow? Stop keeping yourself in a box because somebody put you in there so long ago. Self-nurturing and self-nourishment is free, but so many of us are deeply privileged enough to be able to care for ourselves more based on our socioeconomic abilities and our overall willingness and capability at this time. I have deep pain and deep post-trauma, but I'm high functioning and I can speak and move through my fear and practice self-nurturing and practice touching my body. In medical astrology, Cancer rules the breasts. And what is your relationship with the human breast? And how have you gotten so disconnected from your ability to reconnect to your body, touch your breasts, and not as sexual organs or sexual objects, but as these powerful, incredible fat sacs that can create life and liquid nourishment for another life? Are you willing to give yourself your own love? The power of Capricorn move into thee. Awaken, awaken, remember, I love you.